Your husband fought. This is before you were married?
Yes, before we were married. He had been in World War II, and it wasn't too long after his return from the war, the Second War, he was stationed in North Africa. And then he came back, and then the war broke out. His parents weren't too pleased with him, having been away for some years. But anyway, that's what he decided, and he was in Israel for about 18 months. And it was just a wonderful experience for him and a great honor. He was a captain in the army.
He was a captain?
Yes.
Which army was he in World War II?
The South African Army, of course, but I don't know which unit he was in. But he went to North Africa to fight. So he had a good innings of war experience.
And how did he regard the experience through his life?
What can I say?
He looked fondly upon it? Did he recall
Yes, he did. He felt pride, tremendous pride. He was very proud to be able to go to World War II, and then again with the 800 to Israel. And it was just a very wonderful experience.
The Jews of South Africa were tough men, weren't they? Had to be tough to make it there.
You hear what they were all about. They sure were, don't you agree? Yes.
And do you think they transferred that experience to the Israelis? The ruggedness?
Could well be. But they had already, a good many of them had been well trained through the South, the war in North Africa, World War II. And anyway,
Israelis had.
yes, the South Africans. And I was very proud to be able to say the wonderful experience that my husband had in World War II and in Israel. And that was it. And then he came back to South Africa, and then I was lucky enough to meet him. And we were together for 58 years.
What about the...
I just recently lost him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
When you think of the young generation now, are there lessons from your generation that Zionistic people?
I would think strength, and dedication. And I think that's...
You think the kids are growing up too soft?
Yeah, well, we're living in a very different world. It was much harder in those years for young people to give up the little that they achieved. But they were willing to do it and to fight for their country.
Do you think we need that zeal in today's generation?
Well, I hope it should never be.
I mean, for a war?
For a war, God forbid. Yeah.
But our enemies have not have given up. The enemies of the Jewish people have not relented.
No.
Do you suppose if Israel has another war, South Africa will come to their aid?
God forbid.
Yes, I'm sure
I'm
they will.
sure they will.
I'm sure they will. They're great Zionists. I know when I grew up there,